continued to do my work. I just wasn't on television. But in her 25th season, when she was going off air, she invited me back onto the show because people always wondered what happened. Mm-hmm. Me for a show. Mm-hmm. I come out the projects in Brooklyn.
You wanted
I don't
it
know
now.
nothing about none of this.
Ever heard that fame can be a tricky road? Well, especially when you're at the top like Oprah Winfrey. She's the queen of TV, but lately we're discovering there's more to her story than the glitter and glam. Turns out some folks who worked for her spilled the beans, calling her a bit of a monster. And now the spotlight is on Iyanla Vanzant, someone who worked closely with Oprah for years. Before Oprah's show became the talk of the town, networks were fighting to have Iyanla right by her side. You'd think someone so important to Oprah's story would get special treatment, right? But nope. Even though Oprah seems like a big supporter of fellow black women's success, Iyanla found herself on the wrong end of a not-so-friendly move. Iyanla, already a best-selling author, had to start from scratch after Oprah, who was already a big shot in the industry, felt a bit threatened by Iyanla's potential to outshine. Today, Iyanla's breaking her silence, and you won't believe the hidden details she's spilling on why she had to step away from the spotlight. So get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations in this video, and make sure to stick around until the end. It's a wild ride you won't want to miss.
You know, I didn't know my own strength.
Oh,
I didn't know.
that's another one, yes, yeah.
I didn't know.
Now, as we look back over the years, it's not a hidden fact that this particular host doesn't take kindly to being challenged. However, when it comes to Iyanla, she became a living example of what happens when you stand against this host. The repercussions for Iyanla went beyond losing a spot on a major show. It dug deep into her finances. With her hosting experience and a decent level of fame, she found herself unable to secure a spot on any show and faced failure in her own ventures. It's crucial to note that these setbacks occurred during a period when she was coping with the loss of loved ones. While there's no concrete evidence linking Winfrey to these personal losses, the only common denominator is the host's name at the center. So the question remains, is she innocent in all of this? Now imagine you've had a tough life, battled hardships on welfare, struggled to raise a family, and then suddenly opportunities flood your way. Most people might have splurged that newfound success, but not Winfrey. Her show has been a launchpad for many successful individuals in the entertainment industry, from Nate Burrell to Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz. The Oprah effect is like a magic wand that turned people into global sensations. However, while it made some, it broke others. And Iyanla Vanzant falls into the latter category. Let's dive into Iyanla's life story, a tale that reads like a gripping miniseries. Born Rhonda Harris in the back of a taxicab in Brooklyn, she faced adversity early on, losing her mother to cancer at the age of 2, dealing with an absentee father involved in illegal activities, and enduring severe mistreatment from her grandmother. It was a tough start. As a teen mother, she gave birth to 3 more children with different fathers, married one of them, and suffered mistreatment again, leading to a dark moment of contemplating self-harm. All this happened before she turned 25, with just $5 in her pocket and the responsibility of her children on her shoulders. But then, a turning point came. While sitting on a bus, she saw a sign that said, "If you're ready to better your life, come to Medgar Evers College." She got off the bus and went to Medgar Evers College, considering it her stepping stone into the world of show business. Fast forward to Iyanla's role as the executive producer and host of the highly acclaimed reality series, Iyanla, Fix My Life, which became a massive hit on the OWN network. In this show, Iyanla delved deep into people's lives, applying spiritual principles to help them find inner peace and healing. Winfrey herself hailed Iyanla as the most powerful spiritual healer, fixer, and teacher on the planet. However, this doesn't mean their relationship was always smooth sailing. A major rift occurred between the two hosts that lasted over a decade. Iyanla was offered a show by another network, and despite her regular appearances on Winfrey's show, she chose to accept the offer. This led to an 11-year-long silence between Iyanla and Winfrey. After years of not talking, they finally had a conversation to mend their relationship. Iyanla explained that she thought she was ready for her own show, and when the opportunity came, She went back to Winfrey's organization to see if they were willing to do her show. However, this was not received well, creating a breakdown in communication that lasted over a decade. The two hosts eventually had a conversation and realized that their rift might have been caused by miscommunication. Iyanla admitted her mistakes on Winfrey's show, expressing hurt and guilt for not understanding what she had done. She confessed to violating industry protocols due to her lack of experience and naivety. What's interesting, though, is that Iyanla shared a different perspective in a minor interview on the Tell Me More show with host Michelle Martin. In that interview, she talked about the expectation of loyalty as an up-and-coming protege. According to Iyanla, she didn't demonstrate the expected level of loyalty, which might have contributed to Winfrey's decision to cut ties. But here's the kicker. During the entire saga, Iyanla revealed that she never had a conversation with Winfrey about the situation. Despite people assuming they were best friends who went to lunch all the time, their communication was limited to interactions with Winfrey's lawyer and executive producer. This discrepancy between Iyanla's different accounts has raised eyebrows among fans, prompting them to question the authenticity of the narrative presented on Winfrey's show. Because if you remember, Oprah painted Iyanla as a villain when Iyanla was called up to appear on her show to discuss and resolve their differences. Instead of discreetly resolving their differences behind closed doors, Oprah brings Iyanla onto her show and orchestrates the conversation, leading to Iyanla repeatedly admitting to her perceived mistakes on a public stage. During this on-air discussion, Iyanla shares the lessons she learned from her experience working with another network, expressing how it shook her to the core. She speaks of hurt and guilt, grappling with the belief that she always did the wrong thing. In the midst of vulnerability, Iyanla's insecurities caused her to make assumptions that supposedly compounded the situation. Oprah's words intended as blessings are interpreted by Iyanla as punishment for perceived wrongdoings.
She invited me back onto the show because people always wondered what happened. There was 11 years separation between us. And to show people how you have the conversation to heal a breakdown, I thought was really wonderful.
For the record, you didn't sleep with Stedman, right?
No.
Okay.
Ew.
The public revelation isn't confined to Oprah's show. Iyanla also admits to violating industry protocols on other major platforms. Growing up without a manager or agent, she navigated the industry with naivety, asking for what she wanted without understanding the potential repercussions. The breakdown in communication following these events takes a whopping 11 years to repair. Throughout this time, the perception persists that Iyanla wasn't ready, yet strangely, no one communicated this to her. The confusion lingers as she wonders why, if others were asking for her, she couldn't do it on Oprah's show. The plot thickens when Iyanla reveals that she never had a single conversation with Oprah during this entire episode, sparking skepticism among fans about the authenticity of the narrative presented on Oprah's show. As fans dissect the story, one user points out Oprah's track record of promoting various personalities, but raises a valid question. Why does Iyanla seem to be the only one facing difficulties moving on from the show? The user suggests that Iyanla's strength as a black woman might have threatened Oprah, drawing a parallel to recent cases where Oprah allegedly undermined other black actresses. The broader narrative involves Monique, another actress who claims to have suffered a similar fate at the hands of Oprah. Monique empathizes with Taraji P. Henson's complaints about pay inequality, highlighting the industry's tendency to undervalue black actresses. Taraji herself speaks out about the industry's tendency to view black women's achievements as flukes, emphasizing the need for fair compensation. The fact that she chose to discuss these matters during a retrospective of The Color Purple raises eyebrows, hinting at potential criticism of Oprah, one of the movie's producers. One fan even said, Oprah forced Iyanla to apologize to her publicly on her show. She is jealous of black women who are more talented and more respected than her. She expects them to bow down to her and sing her praises. When they go against her, they suffer. But what's your take on this messy situation? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's dish it out. And if you're hungry for more drama, check out the next video. It's a wild ride.